What's going on, guys? It's Garrett Henderson, career state licensed independent electrical contractor in Miami. And it's cold. It's cold. And I'm seeing a lot of difference here in Miami ever since our president was elected. But we'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about what it's like to be a new business owner when you hit these type of weather patterns, right? And there's no work. How many of you are home right now because of the weather just doesn't allow you to work? Or you plan on a job and a customer cancels because of the weather, because he doesn't want the obligation of removing the snow and have you working around a hazardous location. Well, you're more than willing to work because you're hungry, right? And you're eager to work. You're eager to start your career. Well, you have to be able to kind of get through these lean times, especially winter when it's cold in an election year. It's just the way it is. You know, it took me years to realize I can't make a market. You know, even if I gave my work away, I cannot make a market. Things shut down, things get slow. You're relying on other trades. It's just the way it is. And I want to share an experience that I had in 1994, January of 1994. If you go back and you look, it was a brutal winter in the East Coast. Brutal. I mean, we're talking, 3-4 feet of snow with like 2 inches of ice underneath it. The whole month of January was like at a standstill. Well, I needed money. I had a 1-bedroom apartment. I needed to pay money. I had obligations I needed to do. Now, I was fortunate that I didn't have any car loans and I stayed as lean as possible. But I had my life expenses, right? Rent, food, gas for my car, my little truck. And I could remember sitting at my desk. I put a simple desk up by the front door of this 1-bedroom apartment in Edison, New Jersey. And I'm just waiting for the phone to ring. And there's actually a photo of me. One day I'll share it with you. I'm sitting there in that January, just waiting for the phone to ring, ready to pounce. And I just was so depressed at that time. It was just so disheartening because I was newer in business and there was a lot of people wanted to see me fail. You know, a lot of people love to see people fail, man. Between other contractors, even close friends and family. Like, I told you so. You quit your job, huh? You quit your job, you took a risk, and now you see what it is. So I want to talk to you right now, if any of you are experiencing that bum feeling because weather-related issues, or there's just no market right now, is you have to be able to weed through this. Now, we say it like a broken record. That's why you don't want to be in a lot of debt, have a lot of guys, have an apprentice. You have a young person working for you that you're training, and you have just no work for them. And there's really nothing they can do for you to make you money. So I always discourage newer companies from hiring apprentices. You want to hire, if you hire, and only if you are busting at the seams do you hire, someone with your skill level, someone that you can learn from, someone that can say, hey, Garrett, why you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way? And a lot of times when you're new, you're too pig-headed to go, wow, you're right, that might be a better way. That's another lesson. Sometimes even new people can teach you something or show you something or say, hey, my old boss used to do this. And you'd be like, wow, that's a great idea. So, learning that you cannot make a market. So if you're slow, you had to lay people off. Look, it happens to everybody. It is about survival at that time, right? But if you can fight through these awful times, let me tell you, the good times, when they come, are so good that you will have a story like my story, where one job carried me through that whole month of January in 1994. I had one job that was maybe $1,000 job for me, and that was enough for me to pay my rent and get me through that awful month. And I can remember, being with my wife, who I'm with today, and we went to the movies and we played in the snow and we did what we could just to get out of any kind of funk. So if you're in a funk, you're one phone call away, and be at the ready. One phone call away from a nice little payday. And it will come, guys, okay? Do good work. Never give your work away. Don't just lower your rates thinking, oh, I'm going to make a market by just being so cheap. I'm going to call up the guy that never hires me because I'm too expensive and offer him a cheap rate. That's not the way to do it. Keep your standards. Now, if you have to charge a little bit less, you charge a little bit less, but you certainly don't give your work away. Keep your chin up. We've all been through it. This will make you a tougher person and a better businessman. So my recommendation would be, if you're sitting at the phone right now, or you're sitting at the desk to answer the phone, or you're looking for some work for this month because of weather issues, or there's just no market, this is when you invest in yourself. Did you ever think about some sort of business class? Something about, maybe not want to give like an accounting software. Maybe you can learn about renewable energy. Maybe you can learn fiber optics. Why don't you go Google the differences between network wiring, right? If you learn a new skill, you'll feel better about yourself. Maybe today's a good day for you to start. If you are licensed, why don't you do some Mike Holt classes? Now, I'm going to give you a little caution about some classes that you do take, because this just happened to me. So in Florida, I had to do an 11-hour biannual renewal on the license, and I had to take an 11-hour class, and I looked online and I did the Mike Holt. Mike Holt has 11-hour Florida renewal class, and I did that. And then I got a letter from the state saying that that's not accepted, that his class is not part of what they accept. So be careful on these classes that you take. Now, I love Mike Holt. I love James Stallcup. I love all these guys that have been around. But be careful, because if you just start taking classes to keep yourself busy, make sure they're accepted in your state. But why not get a jump on and go online and take some continuing education classes? Why not? Why not take advantage of this time? It'll keep your mind from, keep your serotonin flowing, right? If you're like me and most entrepreneurs, it's the liquidity of our business that gives us the juice. It's Garrett Henderson from freezing Miami. Well, it's 55 degrees here. That means it's got to be closer to 0 where you're at. And look, we all started off where you're at right now. Look at the bigger picture, and you'll get there. See you later on the next one.